Here's a 900 plus horsepower turbo that Ian's putting on his BMW with the n54 motor in it. So it's going to be on an all-wheel drive model, 335xi. I've showed this turbo multiple times, so I'll just go over what it is real fast. This is the 66.3 millimeter billet compressor wheel by 84 millimeter on the extruder. So it's pretty close to a T67. It's dual ball bearing. It's got a Garrett center cartridge that we built for it, and did a T51R mod to it. That's this elongated inlet all the way down that has anti-surge right here. I had to weld this elbow on there so that we can run the intercooler pipe and still make everything work. It's really tight with the SPA manifold that he's using, where it's a bottom mount and it mounts in the center of the manifold. So if you are thinking about getting one of those manifolds, just keep in mind if you use the E cover, this is a T04E compressor housing, you're probably going to have a lot of fitment issues just like we did. I had to cut really low on this compressor housing and weld this elbow on, and I'm still hoping that it works, but it may not. I don't know. We'll just have to see how it goes. I did test fit it a couple times before completely welding it on there, but I did it as best that I could get it. So the turbine housings, the flange is right here for where it mounts to the exhaust manifold, and this outlet is going to either have to come up at the top or over here at the side, either about this area or maybe a little bit lower to be able to work. And the turbine exhaust side, if you've seen some of my videos, you know what I've already done on this one. It's got a 67 millimeter turbine that we custom made for a GT35R that fits directly in the center cartridge, and then we machined the turbine housing for it to fit. So it's 67 by 74. This one's got a .82 turbine housing on it. You can get larger ones. The largest one that there is in T3 is a 1.06. There's also a 1.15 T4, and you can get a .84 that we could machine for it. There's also a .81 non-divided T4. So there's a lot of different options that you can use for exhaust housings on this. This is the new setup with the manifold that Ian got. He got this one on eBay, that he bought it from them secondhand. So it's got the two O2 sensors on each bank, and it's just an open T3. There's actually a lot more room in here than you would think. Where the turbo or the outlet pipe is going to come out of is either right here or over there in the corner over there. So if we do it where it comes out to the side there, it's going to be a really weird like S pipe. So it makes the most sense just to come out up at the top here and then go directly into this pipe, because this is the intercooler pipe right here. I'll give you a view from the bottom too. And this is the macro boost controller thing. I think that's what it's called. So here's under the car. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge with that water pipe right there in the middle of the block right there, and the turbo mounts right there. So we're going to have to do something for that water pipe. Like I was saying, the outlet part of the turbo comes off about right here somewhere. Another problem we have is how low it comes out at this axle, that it could have an interference problem there too. That's why we don't have the outlet of the turbo coming out at the bottom, because of this axle right here. See, the intercooler is just right here. So if we could come out at the bottom, that would actually probably be pretty convenient, besides that water pump might be in the way. If you plan to do a turbo build like this, a single turbo, I would just recommend that you buy the dock race manifold. I think it just makes more sense to do that. We could build a turbo upgrade for that too. I could actually build the same version that I just showed you in this video, but I'll do it in a T4 version. That way it will mount to the T4 manifold directly. We've ran into like a lot of problems with this build. I haven't really been a part of this build just because I just wanted to do the single or the twin turbo upgrades like I did on my car. I think that makes the most sense because now 2 years pass and all that Ian's gotten done on this is he tried to build a manifold for the car originally and it was too high, so the turbo is hitting the top of the hood. So he spent probably $1,500 or more in labor to pay an employee to work on that, and all the wasted time when the money spent on that could have been paying the employee to make money for the business would have made more sense. But that's just the way Ian chose to do it. So he didn't want to spend $2,000 on the manifold, but he'll spend $1,500 on an employee to build a manifold that won't work, and then ends up buying this manifold for I think $475. So he could have just bought the dock race manifold and be done with it. Hopefully that you can kind of learn from these types of mistakes and make better decisions than what Ian has made on this car. You have to give him some credit. The Volkswagen is running and it's running very well, so he did get that one done. But to have the car down 2 years doesn't really make that much sense. I did the turbo build on my car probably 2 years ago with the upgraded n54 turbos, and I have no complaints about that. It makes great power. I don't need anything special. It's easy to put together, and it got my car back up and running as soon as possible.